Are you being ignored by your boyfriend or partner? Are you frustrated because he's not talking to you or not responding to your texts or calls? Well, then stay right here because in this video, you will learn the top reasons why your man is ignoring you and exactly what to do about each of them. Don't go anywhere because we're starting right now. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borrello and I'm a psychologist and a relationship coach. This channel is about helping you build great relationships so you can grow happy with the people you love. So if you want to make your love life the best part of your life, start now by clicking the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Okay, on to our topic, what to do when a man ignores you. Oh, and make sure you watch this video all the way till the end because I'm also going to tell you the things that you absolutely must not do when you're being ignored, because doing them will sabotage your relationship and make things even worse, especially if you're in a long distance relationship. So those last tips are the most important. Imagine the scenario. You're dating a guy and things are going well. He's texting and calling you and planning dates, making time to see you. Basically, things are going great. And then all of a sudden, there's a change in him. He stops calling and texting, or maybe he's less responsive or doesn't even respond at all. In some cases, you know what caused the change. Maybe you had a disagreement or an argument or a fight, and then he changed. But other times you have no idea why he's ignoring you. But in either case, you know he's ignoring you and it feels horrible and it makes you feel anxious. And that makes you start questioning everything, replaying your interactions over and over and trying to figure out what happened. Was it something you said? Did he learn something about you that he doesn't like? Why is he ignoring you and why is it so difficult to handle? Well, here are the top 5 reasons and how you should deal with it. Number 1, he's playing games or playing hard to get. This is often the case when you have no idea what happened or why he's ignoring you. See, at the beginning of a relationship, a man may believe that he has to play hard to get in order to sustain your interest and get you wanting him more. And this kind of behavior is a powerful form of manipulation that sadly works, especially on people with low self-esteem. But even if your self-esteem is very robust, if you've been with a person for a bit and they start taking days and days to respond to your messages or answer your calls, it gets very frustrating. And that's exactly what he wants you to experience, that uncertain, panicked response so that you'll be more receptive to him when he finally does reply. But purposefully ignoring you to get you to want him more is a manipulative game and should be a huge red flag. So what do? Well, call him out on his behavior. You can say something like this. You've seemed really distant this past couple of days. You haven't been calling or texting and it takes you hours and days to respond to my message with 1 or 2 words. What's going on? Are you okay? That lets him know that you've noticed a change in his behavior and it gives him an opportunity to explain while giving you the chance to set the expectations for your relationship. And not in a complaining way, but in a way where you convey the message that this isn't what you signed up for. So either this is the real him or the guy he was before is the real him. And either that guy comes back or you're out. And don't be surprised if he tries to deny what you're experiencing. And if he does deny it, you've still put him on notice that you expect more. Number 2, he's trying to punish you because he's upset or angry about something. Did he just start to ignore you after an argument or disagreement? Is he angry about something? If so, then he's ignoring you as a form of punishment and manipulation. He's intentionally ignoring you because he wants you to feel the pain that uncertainty provokes and perhaps bring about some change that he wants. But silence and distance only generate more problems and in the end solve absolutely nothing. It's manipulative and abusive and damages the relationship. So, how should you deal with this? Well, do your best to find out what is wrong and do not give him the silent treatment back. If one or both of you need space, establish that. And since communication is often the issue, try to discuss and understand the situation. And if your attempts to communicate go unanswered after a day or so, consider sending this message to him. Hey, I see that you're not responding to me. I'm not sure why, but I want to understand why you are angry or upset or sad. If you're not ready to talk or need space, I get it, but the silence is difficult for me, so could you let me know? Maybe we can find a time to talk in the next few days, but I can't continue with this relationship if you keep shutting me out. And that should be the last message you send him. If he doesn't respond fairly quickly, then you shouldn't do anything else. And FYI, being ignored is incredibly difficult to handle and often makes you feel like you're panicking. And here's why. Being ignored forces you to deal with uncertainty and ambiguity. And the brain does not like uncertainty or ambiguity, especially when you can imagine scenarios in which you are threatened or fear a loss. I've talked about this before. Being ignored activates a threat response in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotional reactions and threat responses. And it's so difficult to handle because that part of our brain can't separate physical threats like someone coming at you with a knife from silly threats like someone not responding to your text message. So when you're being ignored, it makes you feel almost like you're panicking because it's triggering the same part of your brain. Number 3, he's not alone. So this one could be good or bad. Some people put their phones away when they are visiting with family or friends or when they are working closely with a colleague. If that's the case, he probably does the same thing when he's with you. But if he's a person who is constantly taking calls and texts, even when you're together, then you might question his motives for ignoring your calls or texts. Is he ignoring you because he's with someone that he's hiding from you? Let me give you an example. A woman I know was cheating on her boyfriend. And whenever she was spending time with her boyfriend, she would block the other guy's number on her phone. That way, she wouldn't risk a text or a call coming through and having to explain to her boyfriend. And when she was with the other guy, she temporarily blocked her boyfriend's number. Obviously, she made these men feel ignored as their calls and text messages went unread and unresponded to. Now, obviously, you shouldn't jump to any conclusions. Just pay attention to his explanation when he finally comes around. Does he come up with some elaborate story or explanation? Or is his explanation more mundane? If he's ignoring you because he's with another woman, you're bound to see this pattern happening more than once. Quick reminder, if you're a subscriber struggling with a dating or relationship issue, you can get my opinion on your situation by sending your questions to me at antonioborrello@icloud.com. It might take me a day or two, but I do respond to all of my emails personally. Number 4, he's ghosting you or fading you out. Oftentimes, someone you're dating becomes distant because they're afraid of the confrontation of breaking up with you. They would rather fade out of a relationship than end it properly. So if you feel him pulling away and making excuses not to see you, then he's using ignoring you as a breakup method. He's hoping that you'll eventually get fed up of being ignored and the relationship yourself. Or you'll just stop trying and the relationship will fizzle out without any kind of confrontation. So what can you do? Instead of being strung along, tell him this. If this isn't working out for you, I understand. I just need to know so I can move on without any doubt or hesitation. Then, if he wants to break up, you've just given him the opportunity. And if he doesn't want to break up, it gives you an opportunity to communicate your needs and expectations for the relationship. Number 5, he's just not that into you. This can be a difficult truth to accept. We often choose to believe that someone is just busy or naturally bad at texting, which is why they are ignoring us or so inconsistently responding. But trust me when I tell you this, no one is that busy. No one is too busy to text you good morning or to check on you. It takes 30 seconds. If you are important and a high priority, he will find the time or he'll make the time for you. Period. If he doesn't, either he's just not that into you or he's just not ready to be serious about anyone because he's focused on achieving whatever he's doing and he's prioritizing those things over everything else. And if that's the case, you can't take it personally. A relationship is just not in the cards for him right now, and that's okay. Move on and find someone who's on the same page as you are. You don't want to be with someone who puts contacting you at the bottom of his to-do list. So ask him what's going on and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Let him know that you've noticed his inconsistency and distance and you want to understand. He may tell you that he's just super busy and focusing all of his energy towards work or school or business. And if that's the case, he may tell you that he will try harder. And if you believe him, then you can decide if you want to continue pursuing the relationship or not. But if he just tells you that he's super busy and doesn't promise to do better, then my suggestion is that you simply move on because he isn't even going to try to change. He's either unable to be the type of partner you need, or he's just not that into you. So move on to someone who is. Okay, now the super important things that you absolutely must not do. Keep watching, because if you do these things, you're ruining your chances of making things right again. Number 1, don't keep calling and texting. If there's a legitimate reason why he's not responding as much, over texting or over calling just to get an answer will come off as possessive and insecure and a little crazy. Trust me, he's seeing your calls and texts. Besides, if he didn't see that you've been trying to reach him, shouldn't he be concerned and reach out to you? So yeah, he's seeing that you've reached out. If he still doesn't respond after a week, you may need to come to grips with the fact that the relationship is over. Number 2, no begging and pleading. Regardless of how much it hurts, you can't beg or plead with a person to stay with you. When you do, and when you get rejected, you will only hurt more and feel helpless and frustrated. And begging and pleading will make him cringe and feel sorry for you. And if he's ignoring you because he can't handle confrontation, he will definitely ignore you if you beg and plead with him. So don't do it. Now, number 3 is my favorite. No stalking his social media or Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp to see when he was last online. And no posting or updating your stories to see if he's watching. And I know most of you have done this, but this is really bad for you in so many ways. First, it requires you to spend considerable time and energy thinking about what he's doing. You see him online, and then it confirms for you that he's ignoring you. And inevitably, when you bring it up to him as proof that he's ignoring you, you're going to look like a stalker. And if you don't frequently post to your stories and you suddenly start posting, he's going to know that you're doing it to see if he's watching. It's going to give him that satisfaction that ignoring you is making you act desperate. Trust me, just have patience and keep your head up. He will come around, and you'll be glad that you didn't give in to his manipulations. And number 4, don't resort to hurtful insults, name calling, or picking a fight. Of course you're angry, but confrontations or saying something hurtful will be something that you later regret. Don't do it. Again, being ignored is very difficult to deal with, and it's often a manipulative tactic used by abusive people and narcissists. If it's happening, maybe you're dating a narcissist. Click here to watch a video and find out, or click here to watch a video that YouTube thinks that you'd like. I'll see you in the next video.